Good morning, everyone. The color-coded essay is it's basically an essay template that I've been using with my exam classes recently, ever since the essay became the mandatory task in the Cambridge exams for FCE and CAE, just to help them sort of visualize the structure and organization of the essay and how it all fits together. So basically, what I give them is something that looks like this. And then as we kind of, basically I sort of talk through the structure with them, much as I'm going to do with you guys today. So, obviously, when you look at the essay structure, you've got your introduction, main body, and your conclusion. This is all quite straightforward, but I think with learners, particularly at FCE level, they need to break this down further. They don't really sort of understand how it all connects together and how ideas connect together across the essay as well as within the sections. So basically, most introductions have a general topic sentence, and which is very general. And then the refinement section is where you move the essay from the general topic to the more specific topic that you're dealing with in the essay. And then the signposting is where you tell the reader effectively what they're going to read in the essay. You see the color coding then links the topics from the introduction through the main body and back into the conclusion again. Within the paragraph, obviously this is one particular paragraph structure. Other structures are available. I think when you're dealing with a discursive essay for first certificate or advanced, then sort of giving them this sort of template, this particular structure is probably most useful. Paragraph, topic, sentence. The claim, if you've got an essay where it's asking you to talk about, for example, the advantages or disadvantages of a particular topic, then the claim might be the advantages and the counterclaim might be the disadvantages. I had a conversation with my students 2 days ago, I think, where they started to see this in very, what's the word? They couldn't get past this direct opposition. They thought that the ideas had to be in direct opposition to each other, which obviously isn't the case. A claim is just an idea, and a counterclaim is another idea. With FCE students, emphasizing the sort of the claim-counterclaim pattern is a nice way of getting them to use contrastive linking expressions in their paragraphs. And then you can move on to an evaluation sentence, which is where the writer gives their opinion about the topic for that paragraph. Okay. Then when you move down into the conclusion, you basically restate the evaluation summaries. And you use these evaluation sentences that you've got from the paragraphs to lead the reader to your conclusion, which is the sort of second sentence of the conclusion, is where you state your answer to the question, and then you link that back out with implications to a wider context. So basically, what does your conclusion mean? Why is your conclusion important? Okay. So if you sort of put this across to the students and show them what the different sections are, we're kind of reinforcing the links across the essay. So that first general topic sentence is basically linking your essay to the world. You know, it's saying why the topic is important to the world. And then, as I said, the signposting is where you kind of connect what's in the introduction to the content of the main paragraphs, topic by topic. And then the evaluation sentences at the end of each paragraph link into this kind of reverse signposting that takes place in the conclusion, where you sort of effectively say, as we've seen in this essay, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, This then leads me to the conclusion X, and conclusion X is important because, yeah. So that final sentence links your essay back out to the world again. So you've got this kind of this sort of hourglass shape which kind of goes from the general down into the specific and then back out again at the end. Okay. That's basically the color-coded essay. But if you map it to a Cambridge First essay task, it looks a bit like a battle plan. But broadly speaking, the information is all there in the question. So the students don't really need to do much more than think about the template and then map the question to the template. So if you look at that first sentence there, this is excerpted from the First Certificate Handbook. Other essay questions are available. But this essay question is problems with pollution and damage to the environment. So your initial topic sentence for the essay is about the environment, and you will probably find learners writing sort of topic sentences like the environment is very important to all of the people in the world. Obviously, you can try and add additional sophistication as you want to. Then the refinement brings them back sort of into the essay. If the initial sentence is talking about the environment, then the refinement can move into sort of particular problems with pollution and damage to the environment, which then leads you into the signposting, where you say, we're going to talk about transport, rivers and seas, and whatever the third idea is, possibly the impact of chocolate on the environment. I don't know. So that, then again, this sort of leads into those initial topic sentences for the paragraphs, and then as you come down to the end, your answer to that question, do you think these problems can be solved, is where you answer the, sorry, when you get to the conclusion, your concluding sentence is when you answer the question, do you think these problems can be solved? Okay, I can't think of anything else to say about this, really. I've used this with proficiency students as well. Obviously, I think the mapping is different when you get up to proficiency, because part of the problem with that is that you have to pull the ideas out of the two texts. So I think you need to do some work with that as well. I don't think there's, with CAE, I don't believe the task is that different. I think you would also be able to sort of use it as is. Very often, I think students tend to go for this sort of advantages and disadvantages, you know, all of the advantages in one paragraph and all the disadvantages in another. And you know, that works. It's a fairly standard thing. It does the job. Particularly also in IELTS essays, it's often what is suggested by the books. And yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a simple structure. It works. I think this adds a degree of sophistication, which I think can help learners to get better marks, because you're kind of embedding the contrast into topic-specific paragraphs, which is ultimately what we do most of the time anyway, and therefore that additional sophistication can help push learners up into the higher mark areas. Okay, I've got 53 seconds, which I think is a new record for a talk. So if anyone's got any questions, go for it.
Yes, don't worry about using up those 53 seconds if you don't need to, David, because we are already.
I can cede my time to whoever's coming afterwards.
Yeah, we don't, the time is to make sure you don't go over time. I will also be going under myself.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you very much. If anyone does have any questions,
anything, okay?
And we shall
move straight on
to our next talk. Let me just stop David's recording.
Sorry?